Well, Anne Barrett Doyle is the co-director at Bishops Accountability, a website that collects information in the hope to expose bishops who have abused children or vulnerable adults. Thank you for coming on the show, Anne. First off, so we see this child protection policy, new guidelines for preventing sexual abuse, but you feel like the Pope didn't follow through on his no-tolerance approach.
He definitely did not follow through. What we needed today was a universal one-strike-and-you're-out policy for abusers and for their managers who enable them or fail to stop them. What we got instead was a promise of a handbook, a few task forces, a canonical tweak, and guidelines for the tiny Vatican city-state, which just has a few hundred citizens. This, I believe, is a disastrous outcome and an odd outcome because the conversation at the summit was promising. I mean, it was kind of remarkable. You heard cardinals talking about cover-up. You heard bishops resolving to investigate brother bishops who perpetrate abuse. So it is strange that the Pope delivered so little in light of the hopes and expectations that were raised by the summit.
How far away from the universal one-strike-and-you're-out policy are things right now? I mean, common sense approach would say as soon as somebody is discovered to be acting in this way, committing these sorts of crimes, that they would be out.
That is common sense, and it's also sort of the international child protection standard. But that is a rule for bishops only in the U.S. and perhaps in Australia and one or two other countries. By and large, throughout the rest of the world, bishops operate under universal canon law, which says that guilty priests receive only just penalties, and these can be as mild as a brief suspension from ministry, and then they're reinstated. There was a remarkable media report the other day that showed 9 convicted priests back in ministry openly in Poland, and their bishops are in compliance with canon law when they do this.
And you think the bishops of the world will now be discerning if they need to change or risk losing their jobs, and you feel that after this speech that they'll feel reassured?
I think they will feel reassured. There's not one bishop today who's covering up for an abuser or mismanaging an allegation who will tremble in his seat and fear for his job. What we needed the Pope to deliver was a concrete measure for holding bishops and religious superiors accountable. He came nowhere near that.
Thank you for coming on the program. That's Anne Barrett Doyle, co-director at Bishops Accountability.